far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away.
8:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. Last week, she told us about a trip to Ireland, which I've been salivating and thinking about all week long. Pat Blassie going to talk a little travel this week. Good morning, Pat Blassie from Altair Travel and Cruises.
Well, speaking of that, McGraw, you and I have to talk because it's so funny. Saturday, I went to get my flowers from the place I go all the time.
Yes.
And the lady says, "Oh, I hear you're going to Ireland." I said, "I am?" "Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listened to the radio show, and McGraw says that you all are going."
Right.
And I said, "Well, I'd love to go to Ireland. I didn't know we were going, but we can go. All he has to do is just give me the word, and we can go." So then, not only that, so we've gotten calls at the office this week. I want to sign up for the Ireland trip. And my staff come to me and they said, "Are we doing a trip to Ireland?" So, McGraw, what is it? Are we going or are we not going?
Oh, boy, it's tempting. It is really tempting.
Now you've done it.
It is. I didn't do anything. I just said, "Hi, Pat, welcome to the show," and you caused all the controversy. We can talk. We can talk. Well, look, if we don't do it next, or we'll do it again, because it's a place you can't go just once. That is for sure.
Okay.
We'll figure something out.
I'm looking at some stuff just for the heck of it.
Okay.
I have broad shoulders. I'll take the blame. So.
All right,
what
fair
can
enough.
I say?
First of all, happy Mother's Day, and that's
Thank
one. You betcha.
Thank you.
And then two, let's talk a little TSA and the long lines with airlines. What's going on?
Well, I did mention it a couple of weeks ago, having just been to Europe, and this morning watching TV and the news, they were featuring, unbelievable lines in primarily they were featuring the airports in New York and New Jersey. That it's just unbelievable. People are missing flights because they're just not allowing enough time. I really encourage, and you for sure should get it, even if you're a casual traveler. I encourage you to do this. Now, it's $100. And I know, most of us just don't have $100 that we just want to throw away. But if you're going to be traveling a few times a year, definitely if you're traveling more than a few times, and if you're going for international travel, it used to be to get the global entry registration, you had to go to Chicago. You had to sign, you had to apply, and then you had to go to Chicago and actually be interviewed. Well, St. Louis now has an office for the global entry form, which is terrific. And I'm going to give you I just Googled this morning just to get the information, and we have it all at the office if someone doesn't get all this. Just Google Global Entry St. Louis. And basically what comes up is the information on how to go about getting the global entry. Now, what does that mean? It means that when you go to the airport and you have unbelievable lines, by chance sometimes they're allowing, I think, people of a certain age to go through the TSA checkpoint. That's a security point. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your belt. You don't have to take your electronics out. So with the global entry, you also get the transportation, the TSA certification. You can get that just by itself, but I would recommend doing the big one, the global entry, and then you get both. So the TSA puts you in front of a fast track line through security at the airport when you're leaving on your trip, and the global entry when you come back from your trip and you have to go through immigration and customs. The global entry, you just swipe this document that you carry with your passport. They take your thumbprint, and you're through. It is fast. The lines are short.
So when we're online at Southwest and they have this sort of TSA line, once you get this approval, you can then go to that shorter line, right?
Yes. and
it's worth the money.
It's
$100.
really worth it.
Yeah.
How you go about it? Okay, you have to go online and you can download an application. You have to complete an application and submit it, and then they contact you for your interview. The interview is done here in St. Louis. It's at Terminal 2. They are there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 to 11. And you just go and they talk to you and make sure you're not a security risk. And then, but probably I don't know the time frame now of once you complete all this, how soon you get it. But I mean, if you've got any travel coming up, maybe later this summer, midsummer, I would definitely recommend doing it.
But where do you go and where do you fill out the application first? Just go online?
You pull it up online.
Okay.
You go to the
TSA
go to that
website?
Global Entry St. Louis.
Okay.
It'll give you the website for the Global Entry, and that gives you all the steps to do it. How to download the app, and then what you do with the app, and then the interview process, and on and on. And I know this is the fun part of travel, but I also want to mention 2018. Now, I know that's 2 years away, basically, but, time flies.
Right.
They are predicting an unbelievable backlog in renewal of passports and issuance of passports. Now, you say, well, why is that 2018? Because in 2010 was the first year, 2008, that they issued the 10-year passports. So everybody's going to be expiring. I mean, many, well, not everybody, but many people.
So there's going to be a big bubble there, so get it in early.
I encourage you to look at your passport. Don't just say, oh, well, I've got 6 months, I've got a year, or whatever.
Right.
It's not till 18. Just, be proactive, do it early, and that way it's done.
2000.
You never know when a great trip to Ireland is going to come
You
up.
never know. You never know. You listen to the radio, and the next thing you know, you're on your way to Ireland. You know what, Pat? Let me just correct you. One, you said time flies. Not if it doesn't have a passport. It's not flying.
You're right.
Pat Blassie,
right.
Altair Travel and Cruises. Have a good week. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you. Take care.
You got
Bye-bye.
it. Also, let me give you a shout out for the